Hey everybody, it's Joy Braun with Indigenous Environmental Network. We're here on Indigenous Rising Media at the Treaty Alliance Against Tar Sands Expansion. This was originally signed in Alberta, in Canada, where tar sands originates from, and then it was brought down to the Black Hills, and a lot of the Sioux Nation signed that treaty. We're now in Lincoln, Nebraska, and the tribes here in Nebraska are going to sign the Treaty Alliance Against Tar Sands Expansion. They're expected to start here pretty soon, but I wanted to get here, give you guys a little bit of background information. It says our nations hereby join together under the present treaty to officially prohibit and to agree to collectively challenge and resist the use of our respective territories and coast in connection with the expansion of the production of the Alberta tar sands, including the transport of such expanded production, whether the pipeline be through pipeline, rail, or tanker. So we're getting ready. They're getting ready to set up, to have prayers and everything. But before we started, there's a lady over here. I'm on Indigenous Rising Media, everybody, and this wonderful woman here in the purple, she's doing a water walk, and you want to explain a little bit about that?
Sure. Hello, greetings out there. Thank you all for tuning in. My name is Roxanne Ornelas. I'm an associate professor of geography at Miami University in Ohio, and I am a water walker. At this moment, there are a group of us who began a walk at Three Forks, Montana on August 1st to walk the course of the river from Montana to where it pours into the Mississippi. It will take approximately 2 months for the group to finish the walk. And I want to invite all of you who are in the region or who want to join us to come out and walk with us. Walk for a day, walk for an hour, walk for a week, or for the entirety of the walk. You can check us out at nibiwalk.org. That's N-I-B-I. That's water in Ojibwe. nibiwalk.org. And from that site, you can see that there is a way to watch us, to spot the walkers. We are carrying a GPS tracker on our pail of water that we carry with us from the headwaters of the Missouri River that we took there to pour back into the river and to remind itself that we are praying for it along the way. I turn you back.
Thank you. Okay, they're starting.
Make sure I didn't glance over too many people. Is there anybody here for the Saukteen Nation? Okay, we'll go ahead and get going here. Good morning, everybody. On behalf of the Ponca Tribe in Nebraska, my name is Larry Wright Jr. I'm the tribal chairman, and it's an honor to be here today to be part of this. Definitely not to lead it, but just to be a part of it. And what this means amongst all of our tribal people, not only here in Nebraska, but across all of our homelands. And we have a lot of people here that we want to recognize. Obviously, I apologize ahead of time. There may be some people that we forget, and I don't mean that intentionally, but this is not my strong point, so I tend to forget people, so I don't mean to. But we do want to recognize some tribal leaders and some speakers here that will speak for sure. And if we have time, we want to give everybody a voice as much as we can. We have a cold lunch because we know how Indians are, so in case we go long, we won't get cold anyway. So we're good there. But I want to say a welcome and thank you to some tribal leaders here from Nebraska. Chairman Mike Wolf from the Umaha Nation. Vice Chairman Vince Bass from Winnebago Tribe. And I'd like to recognize Councilwoman Casey Camp from and we know Santee is not here, but they are fully in support of our being here today. And we thank them for their support, and we will move forward with their spirit with us. Another speaker that we'll have with us today is Mickasey Camp from Ponca Tribe, Oklahoma as well. Thank you for being here. And a special thank you to Gary Dorr, who's the General Council Chairman from the Nez Perce Tribe, joining us here today. We also want to recognize Flores White Bull from Standing Rock. And Ben Carnes from Choctaw from Oklahoma. And Roxana Ornelas, I'm sorry, I didn't say that last name right. She's a professor of, associate professor of geography at Miami University in Ohio, and is one of the water walkers, starting at the headwaters of the Missouri and walking. So we want to recognize her for being here as well. We also have one of the private landowners involved in this fight, Tom Ganum. I'm sorry, Tom, if I said that last name wrong, but he's here as well. We'll give him a chance to speak. And all those water protectors that are with us that were at Standing Rock have been part of this movement to help with this sign up. Let's give all of you a round of applause. Before we get started with everything, as usual, we'll do this in a and I'd like to introduce, call up an elder and a friend, relative, Councilwoman Camp, from our relatives in Ponca Tribe, Oklahoma, and have her introduce her son, who will sing a opening song for us here. So,
Oklahoma. My name is Judy. My colonized name is Casey Camp Hornick. I'm a member of the Ponca Nation of Oklahoma. This is a funny thing to have go on while you're talking. I felt like I was talking to the top of that red cat right there. Now I'm here with the rest of the group. Told you that I've been looking forward to this moment and that I'm happy to be here. It's an honor to be among you. Now, all of the familiar faces that I see here give my spirit a lift. Now, I'm very blessed to be here with an enormous family that has come from the Sundance. Yesterday we drove in, and because I'm a proud mama, grandma, and great-grandma, I'd like to ask my family to just stand up so we can show you how many Poncas are here in response to this beautiful day. That's how close we are to our relatives here. The government tried to separate us, take us away from me with Alaska, and put us into an area where we would die. But when I look around here, I meet new relatives, the Larbies, the relatives that I already know here from our friends walk and from our times together when we've come together. The Omaha, who took us in, our sister tribe up here, has been part of our lives for generations. And regardless of what the federal government tries to do, they cannot separate us. Because we belong to each other. The Creator made it that way. Creator connected us through water. Creator connected us through air. Creator connected us through spirit. Creator connected us through our Mother the Earth and all of the gifts that she has given to us to make our lives possible. We come here to speak on behalf of the silent ones, those that walk on four legs, those that fly, those creepy crawlers, those that live under the earth, those that live within us. All of those things that connect us brought each and every one of us here today. And above all, the sacred water that we're here to protect. When I look at the faces of those of you that I'm just meeting and just knowing, I can help you to understand through the way that I feel maybe how the earth is calling us at this moment to make a stand. So it's not part of a job. It's not part of something that the scientists tell us. It is our indigenous knowledges that come to us, whether we are from Turtle Island, whether we are from across the big waters, whether we are from the southern hemisphere or the poles. There is a portion of Mother Earth that has spoken inside us and said, now, you must do it. You must stand. You must speak. Or you will be removed. That's where we are at this sacred moment, in this sacred breath that we share with one another. So I thank you, Chairman Wright, Chairman of Native Alaska, from the other nations, for giving us this moment to come together to make prayer. None of us would be here had not our ancestors guided us, had not their prayers been so strong for the 7 generations to come, that it called us this far down the bloodlines to say, come. They think they're strong over there in that other building. They think they're making a decision. The decision's already been made. The Creator, the Mother Earth, the Moon, the Sun, all those living things that has said, we've got to move the course back to the original ways. That voice came when our grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-great-grandparents prayed that we would be here on this moment and still be alive. So for them, for my own, Martinez, Negus, Gaha, Tanga, Diga, Tanga, and all those others that made this way for us. We can ask my son, Lucas, to come and sing a memorial song for those ancestors who guide us.
Thank you to the Indigenous International Youth Council for sending that beautiful banner to honor the treaties. That's why we're here, not only to honor the treaties, but to honor our children, to honor the future generations, and ensure their survival, their right to life, their right to clean water, their right to clean air and healthy land to live and to walk. So, I thank the youth for their leadership.
Please remain standing. Paul, thank you, Minister, for that song. Next will be Vice Chairman Vince Bastian Winnebago will try to give us a prayer.
I'd like to say good morning to everyone, and I'd also like to say thank you for coming here to support what we're trying to do, the treaty signing, the protesting, to try to keep our land, water, and air free from pollution, try to provide a better life, a better planet for all of our people, not just our people, all people. That's why we're here, to protect that water. Water is life. You know, you can't drink oil. So we're kind of trying to shed some light on this subject, and I really appreciate what Casey had to say, beautiful, inspirational words. I was going to say the exact same thing, but she took that away from me. I want to thank all the tribal members here, the tribal chairman, thank Chairman Wright for organizing this and making it possible for us to also be able to sign this treaty. So I'll say about that much right now. I ask that you would join me in a word of prayer. Oh, Mama, we come to you in a humble word of prayer today. We thank you for all the blessings that we receive each and every day. We thank you for Mother Earth and all of the resources that she has for us. It's unfortunate that the wealth of this planet is held by a few people. I pray that we pray that somehow this wealth can make its way down to all those people that are really in need, and there are many. Today we are gathered here today, Mauna, to express our opposition to this black snake that will be going through the state of Nebraska. The Nebraska Public Service Commission has their way. 5 people will be making a decision for all Nebraskans, which is unfortunate. But we ask that you would be with them in their mind, their heart, their spirit today, in the next couple of days as they deliberate and take testimony from those who will be affected. So we have many people here today. Mauna, I ask that we thank you for bringing everyone together safely. Many have traveled many, many miles across many states to get here. This is such an important thing. And up to this date, there's been many, many people who have been involved with these efforts to stop these pipelines. Water is life. And we know that we can't drink oil. We need to protect our resources. Water, probably the most important. but we need to protect all of our resources. And thank you for bringing these many people together and for all the work that has been done thus far, not only on trying to stop the Keystone XL, but also the Dakota Access Pipeline. Many, many people were there involved with prayer and trying to stop that pipeline. Many people were hurt, trying to exercise their freedom of speech, freedom to protest in a peaceful way. As they bless them, all the water protectors, all the wonderful work that they've done, all the sacrifice they've given, and the many other people that support them, wherever they might be, wherever they might come from, and all the resources that they've shared with those that they can in Standing Rock. So here we are today, Mauna. Once again, we're battling this black snake. Please be with us as we move forward. Let our voices be heard. And please help us to do the right thing. Please help the commission to do the right thing. So with that, I want to ask that you continue to bless each and every one of us. Bless our soldier boys and girls so that we can continue to practice this freedom of speech and all the other freedoms that we enjoy today. They've made many sacrifices, and many of them are on the front line as we speak, as they protect them, make their duty short, and bring them home safely to their families. And there are many, many people in need of a prayer at this time, in need of a blessing, so I ask that you touch them with your healing hand. And whatever it is that they may need or want, I ask that you can make them come true for them. So if I forgot anything, I ask that you would take care of that for me, for us. And I'll say these many things in your name. Amen.
Before we get any further, I want to, I said earlier I'd forget somebody, and I did. The person that helped, one of the people, but an important person here today, helped make all this possible, bring us and allow us to be in this room, to have these snacks and allow us to have this time together. And obviously, financially, all of this wouldn't be possible without the help from all those that bring it. But I want to say a special recognition to Susanna Reyes, who is the Vice President of the Board for the Sierra Club, and the Sierra Club that brought the Again, it was an honor to be part of the Treaty Alliance signing on July 4th, and where it's gotten us here today. And I credit Casey for her work and her involvement with that, to bring that to us, and her help and commitment to bring that to the tribes in Rapid City on that day, and suggesting that day, July 4th, to bring back tribal independence from things like this black snake, and more efforts by those that want to see these things happen, and the importance of tribal nations coming together to stand together in opposition of these things. And knowing what this Treaty Alliance did and where it started up in Canada, and here today when the 4 Nebraska tribes and the Ponca tribe of Oklahoma sign on to this, there will be 150 tribal nations that have come together to sign and stand in solidarity for this. And when I saw this document, and everybody, I don't know if everybody got one, but the document that's there in front of you, when this was presented to us, and I read it for the first time in Rapid City that day, it moved me. It's one of those things that you know, but until you see it again, you kind of forget about. And so I just want to read this for those that may not have seen this, for the video, and why we're here today. We have inhabited, protected, and governed our territories according to our respective laws and traditions since time immemorial. Sovereign indigenous nations entered into solemn treaties with European powers and their successors, but indigenous nations have an even longer history of treaty making amongst themselves. Many such treaties between indigenous nations concern peace and friendship and the protection of Mother Earth. And again, that's why we're here again today, as part of this movement, as part of those other indigenous nations, First Nations, that have come together before us to stand together to fight against this pipeline, against all the pipelines that are being proposed now. We can't stop the ones that have already happened, but we can stop those that they want to propose and wish to do in the future. And that's what we're here for, what brings us together. Not just tribal nations, but all those that we fight with and for. And so it's an honor to be here on behalf of the Ponca tribe, both Nebraska and Oklahoma, our nation together, and be a part of this, to fight for our future generations. And this whole movement, as we watch those that, following the pipeline, the Keystone is going on a decade, maybe over a decade. And seeing all the different sacrifices that have been made, and watching what Standing Rock represented, what happened up there, those that suffered, sacrificed, bled, tears, all those prayers that brought the tribal nations together even stronger. For all the negative and false accounts, those that are in here in this room today that were there, that suffered, saw those things firsthand. You speak to them better than even I. But through their stories, through their tears, through their prayers, we're here. Everybody saw a reason to be here today. And I want to say a special thank you to Chairman White from the Winnebago tribe who couldn't be here today, and his leadership of bringing the Nebraska tribes together. We've tried in many different ways over the years to bring us all together. And the four chairmen are like herding cats, I'll tell you that. You get all in the same room. But they did it. And for the first time in modern history, the four tribes of Nebraska were brought together here about a month ago. The four chairmen and members of every tribal council were in the same room. And an outcome of that meeting was a formulation of the Nebraska Intertribal Coalition, where we see how strong events like Standing Rock were and what this treaty alliance represents, and how the tribal nations are stronger together, working on common issues, regardless of what they are. Today we're here about the Keystone Pipeline, and we'll show our strength here. But through that effort, we know that we're stronger together. And I thank Chairman White for bringing us together. I thank Chairman Wolf, who's here today, and with his leadership. And it's a feeling that I haven't had in my years as tribal chairman, but it's an honor to be part of it. It's an honor to see the Ponca tribe partner with our relatives here, to know that we're fighting for our generations that follow us. And I don't want to steal words from Chairman Wolf, but with all due respect, I'm gonna. As he says, and he'll say it today, he says it better than I do anyway. We're here not for us, but we're here for those that aren't. And I've heard this as well. None of us wants to be the group when our kids or our grandkids says, "Why didn't you fight?" We're here to fight. Regardless of the outcome, we're going to fight and make those next generations proud. And so with that, I thank each of you for being here again today, for your thoughts, your prayers, and allowing us, giving everyone the strength to continue on. And I say a special thank you to those sun dancers who are returning. I know the sacrifice you've given, and so thank you for being here today after that, after your challenges and your struggles there. So I want to say that. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Chairman Wolf, and we'll give the leaders up here a chance to speak. And depending on time, we'll try to accommodate as many as we can. Chairman Wolf.
Okay, Marcus Kaebe. I like when Casey says that. We say my colonial name is Michael Wolf. My spiritual heartfelt, those are given to me by my grandfather. My name is Mangiska. I'm chairman of the Umaha Nation. And I like that when they says all the Ponca here, please rise. Anybody see my little finger up there? I'm 9% Ponca. But that's by their grading, their categorization. One nation. That's what we're striving for nowadays. One nation as the four tribes of Nebraska come together. We stand on a higher platform. We stand with a stronger voice when we come together. We need to unite all over our homeland. Separated, we're orphans in our own country. We don't have no say. Nobody listens like these people. You know, Omahas, they say, when you meet another human being, and they come to your homeland, invite them into your heart. If they find it warm and comfortable enough, they'll come back to it over and over and over again. Those are the invited ones that come into my comfort zone. You come back to it, you're welcome. These other people, like this pipeline from Canada, they weren't invited. You know, maybe we should call them Umaha. Because what that means is against the current. If we stand together as one nation, don't matter what color you are, you represent your homeland here in Nebraska, we have a stronger opposition and a higher mountain for these people to climb. They're not invited, they're not wanted here. So with that being said, I got a few words. I'm not up here for myself, as Chairman Wright said. I'm up here for those that haven't been able to speak yet. For those back home that have suffered dearly for us to have this life we got today. You know, I wear a memorial, I have tattoos. People that don't understand, like natives, we're the most understood race in the country. People don't come to us and try to adapt to us or ask how we feel about this or that. A great chief said at one time, and I live by this, if you wish me to live this life as you live it, involve me in your life and I'll walk with you. Don't tell me how to live my life, I'll run from you. These people are telling us, and they've been telling us for hundreds of years now. And I'm grateful for the people of other colors finally uniting with us and standing with us. That's why I said in the rally the other day, you people of the other colors, guess what? You're the new generations of Indians. Because this stuff is being shoved down your throat just as well. How does it taste? I'm grateful you're here. Spread this word back when you go into your four directions, your comfort zone. Spread this to those that are out there. They might not hear what we have to say here because evidently these other people, their mouth have deafened their ears. They don't hear. And money has made them blind. They don't see. But Native people, we've always had to adapt to other ways of living. Nobody wants to adapt to ours. They're afraid of us because they don't understand us. But yet, here we are peaceful. Peaceful, just like up at Standing Rock. That was peaceful until someone else taking opposition to us still being above ground. And they want to eliminate us. Genocide. They want to get rid of us somehow. I brought an illustration. Water water is a spirit, it's alive. When we consume it, what does it do to us? You know what it does to us. These are both made out of the same spirit, but man made this other one this color. If they could see, these were both water. Which one would you pick up first? 100% would pick up this one. I guarantee you. And just like those were the only two glasses of water in this world, I bet you they'd fight us dearly for that one. That's clear. They would kill us for that. Just like the last breath of air. There was one breath of air in this room. We'd probably all end up fighting each other for that last breath. You know, what's it going to take? My grandmother told me a long time ago, you know, I'm not going to tell you everything that somebody else is already going to say and you've already heard. I'm going to tell you some things that came from grandmother and grandfather. These people that are doing these things did have that type of teaching. They had teachings of going out there and doing for yourself, selfishly. Their motives weren't for the little ones that are following them, or who's watching, leading by example. What they said was, you know, doing something right in a wrong way is better than not doing it at all. Well, at the time, doing something right was to create this oil, use it. Well, times are changing. Now it's turning out to be wrong because look at the climate that's taking place out east. The water that's flooding people down south. God is putting all these signs right there in front of us. Who's so blind that they can't see what's taking place here? Who's not listening? Grateful for all you being here to allow, maybe we might reach somebody on that other side that created this water to turn black. You know, a long time ago they said only Indians crazy when drunk. That was one of our I'll say it, devils. We drank that, we consumed it. It went in cold. By the time it come hot, Michael changes. And I didn't like the person I become when I drank that stuff. But now it has a new meaning for me. The grandfather called that alcohol water that burns. You know, it does burn. You choke that stuff pretty good. Well, this oil is water that burns. What happens when we drink that? What happens when we chug that? Life as we know it no longer exists. And it's coming to that part. You know, my grandfathers, as it was said here, grandfathers and grandmothers, they made great sacrifices for the life that I have today. I didn't know that as a young one, but it took me a few times to come and to listen to somebody else and be open-minded to what they have to say. It might save me from me and my thinking. And my memorial here is, I have this one, but people out there that don't want to know who we are or what we're about, you know, they think differently and they think ugly thoughts of things like this. But if you ask me, I tell you. But I have no problem in telling the people in here because you understand. I don't have to sit there to you people and say, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You hear me? You understand me? You know what I mean because we speak the language of the heart. We may have a different sound when it comes out of our mouth. There's, well, 454 languages. But the language of the heart we all have and we all understand each other. But this one here, the black brother, the middle one's a sister, and the other one's a brother that sacrificed to be a part of this world for the betterment of us and our children. the two red ones for Grandma and Grandpa. They sacrificed the most, and they were happy to do it for us. So that's why I'm standing up here today. Maybe somebody's following me anonymously that I don't know. I don't want to know because sometimes my head gets a big ego. You know, all I got to do is know is what's my motive for being up here. It's not for me. It's for those that can't fight. Just like when we dance in the powwow, the sun dances, sweat lodges. We go and do these things of sacrifice for those that don't have an opportunity to do that. And I dance every day in my mind for another. A lot of people call it prayers. However you pray, that's fine. But I just want to say I'm grateful to be up here, standing up for our people, Umaha people. We've been against the current for a couple 100 years now. But boy, when we go with the flow of God and His creation, it seems to be a lot easier. But God puts these things in front of us for a reason. God has a plan. And I hope we get somebody to see, hear us, what the mission is for us to do here at this time. Before it's too late. The time is now. We can't wait for our tomorrows. You know, so I was thinking this morning, I was watching the show, and it was a geologist and all these people, archaeologists. They come across a sacred site. They immediately stop production. They call out whoever they got to call, the National Guards, to protect whatever they're doing, to protect whatever. Well, what about us? Every inch they go over and dig up is sacred to all nations, all people. You know, they're disturbing our relatives and our ancestors on a daily basis, and they don't give a what about it. But thank God we do. If it weren't for people like you, through you I'm gaining strength to do the things I got to do, because I'm just a weak man. All these things that God puts in front of me, sometimes it gets to be too unbearable. But the old one, she said, be careful how you talk to another human being today. They may be walking uphill. We are walking uphill now against this pipeline. So together we can do this, where one of us can't do alone. So I'm grateful you're all here. And Sierra Club, thank you for the hospitality. You brought us together in a good way. And, when people of other colors do something for the natives, it says a lot. We're not used to this. People are always trying to take. We love people like you because we're givers. The givers you see around here a long time. The takers you don't see them too much. But God's teaching me something here that we got this pipeline and these Canadian companies, and they're doing things. They're taking. Well, when is it going to be enough? It's time to change that doing something right, wrong. Well, it was needed then, but now we have solar, we have wind. We don't need this oil. But yet, Canada don't want it. But they want to shove it down our throats down here. So maybe one of you will open someone else's eyes up to see the true understanding of why we're still here. We're here for a reason. You might be that particular solution today. So thank you for allowing me to be up here. We got to go home. supposed to go age before beauty, but they went beauty before age.
He's just about that much younger than me.
Okay.
I want to thank my longtime friend Chairman Wolf for the words that he had to say. Very intelligent, very well said. You know, from time immemorial, indigenous people here have been coinciding with Mother Nature. You know, we didn't dominate, we coexisted. We were part of Mother Nature. We were one of the animals. You know, we've always protected Mother Earth. We always have. We continue today, and we always will. You know, that's the way it was for our people back then. You know, we took only what we needed for that day or for the next few days, and then we continued on. And we didn't build dams. You know, we didn't change the course of rivers. We didn't disturb Mother Earth and dig out all this black gold, all that. You know, these, we're still here. We need to protect that. We all know these pipelines leak. They're gonna leak. There's no guarantee that they won't leak. Even before Dakota Access Pipeline was in operation, it was leaking. And all the other pipelines that are out there, they leak. You don't hear about some of them, but they're there. Continually contaminating Mother Earth, our water. We sit on top of the Walla Aquifer, which extends way over to Utah, North and South Dakota, the whole Midwest. Once that gets contaminated, that's it. You know, these rivers then, everybody downstream, clear the Gulf. You know, they use that water for drinking, for farming, for all kinds of purposes. You know, it is life. Water is life. There's no simpler way to put it. You know, and it's all because of greed. You know, the rich are getting richer. They don't care. They don't care about the little guys, you know, just so they get richer. And they're in power. They rule Congress. You know, they have I don't know about this president that's in there right now. He is something else. But he's got a royal following, you know, and they're all in power. They're going to continue to do this to us. They don't care about the little guys. All they want is more power, more greed, and it's very, very corrupt. We've all seen it on TV, you know, how corrupt this administration is. Well, I don't expect much from them, you know, but we're not going to stop. We're going to continue to fight. We'll continue to educate the people, the Congress, and let them know what our feelings are. That's the democratic process. That's the way it's supposed to work, you know. But now you got 5 commissioners over here that are going to make a decision that's going to impact the lives of all Nebraskans and all those along the rivers and streams that this Black Snake crosses. And they will leak, and we will see the negative impacts of this. It will happen if they continue to do this. So we just need to keep doing what we're doing, you know. There's all kinds of studies out there showing all the positive impacts of switching to green energy, solar power, wind power, geothermal, and there's others. We could create thousands and thousands of jobs, convert them coal miners and oil workers over to alternative energy strategies. A lot of the tribes are doing it. A lot of the places throughout the United States are doing it. It works. We just need to get on that bandwagon. Our leaders need to make the right decisions, but they're blinded by this greed. So we need to just keep talking and let them know that, hey, we're the people. You know, you guys work for us. So that's what we're trying to do today. Trying to have our voices heard, let the world know. I think the world knows. I think it's just our leaders that are blinded. You know, the majority of our people know that we need water. But, you know, know, it just doesn't register with them because they're blind. You know, I don't want to stand up here and talk too long, but I think we're all of the same mind here. We all know what's right and what's wrong, and we're here to voice our opinion on that. Let's save this water. Thank you to all of you who came here and protested in the past, wherever it might be, Lincoln, Omaha, Standing Rock. And we need to keep doing this. So I thank you all, I applaud you all, and don't give up. There'll be more fights after this one too. There'll be another pipeline over here and over there. You know, it's going to happen. We need to just keep fighting, stay organized, and do what we're doing. It is making a difference. You know, if we hadn't said anything, that pipeline would have been in operation already. You know, so we are making a difference. So I thank each and every one of you. God bless each and every one of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Vince. Next, Councilwoman Camp.
Thank you. I'm going to pass this time to the speakers here, and then I'll come back if you don't mind, right at the very end. I'd like to introduce our next his relative who is, we signed a pretentious sacred treaty together some years back, and has been a very strong ally. And all of us understand this struggle, so we're in it together, and we came from Crow Dog's Paradise to here today.
Katsiaya oiko, katsiaya haniwa, katsiaya imima, kalazwa. Good morning, good day, good midday to you all. Good day to all your relatives and friends. Thank you, Creator, for bringing us all here together. You may ask why there's a Ninipu and Nez Perce here in this country. Well, I've been working with the Rosebud Sioux tribe on the Keystone XL pipeline. I was one of the individual interveners. And I did that because of our relationship that we have extending several generations back. We sundanced out here. I'm part of the Chief Joseph band. We sundanced out this way. After the war, 1877, Sitting Bull's camp took care of the Ninipu who escaped to Canada. We still recognize that relationship today. We finalized that 4 years ago. We are Huka relatives, adopted relatives. This Missouri River carries some of our relatives. Many of you don't know that. The Rapid River salmon was brought here and transplanted into that Missouri River, Minnesota. So we have all kinds of relatives that are here. We're all related in some way. That's why I called you all relatives. And when I look at what we're doing this on behalf of the relatives here and every relative along the pipeline, now all the way up to the refinery towns in Canada. That's how I kind of put my foot forward. 20, 30 years ago, they tried to do a cancer study in the Fort Chipewyan villages. They didn't have cancer because they were subsistence hunters. 20 or 30 years ago, they couldn't do a cancer study because it didn't exist there. Now, every single family has a member with cancer due to those tar sands refineries, the pollution that's coming out of there. That's what makes me mad. Sit here and listen to these guys in that room deny the truth, deny the presentation of the truth, they can't even say spill in there, in that room that's over there. They can't even say the word spill. They're denying everything that makes it that makes it obvious that the pipeline is nothing but an injection of poison into the land. They're denying that. So we stand here today together in that one truth as relatives. We are all related. All my relations. So I'm thankful to be able to be here to participate in this treaty signing. We are related from from South America to Canada, from east to west. And when one of us is hurting, we stand up. The Nimipu stood up against the megaloads that were coming in that were supplying the tar sands. Our people stood in that road. We had little children throwing rocks into the road, and it stopped the megaloads. It stopped them for a while. So we're still here, we're still praying, we still have that hope. I don't have a lot of hope in that room in there. I have a lot of hope that resides with you all here, because it's probably going to come down to that standing the line again. Even though economically it doesn't make any sense for them. They can't find shippers, or they can't find oil producers, enough of them to produce enough oil to go through that pipeline, and yet they're still going to approve it. That's where we're at. When they started the idea for this pipeline, oil was probably about $140 a barrel. We're at $60 a barrel now, 60 to 50. It doesn't make sense for them to ship. They cannot ship it. It's not cost effective. And yet they're going to push it down our throats. It makes no sense whatsoever. They've lost their mind. They don't know what they're doing anymore. Us human beings have to be here to remind them, and I'm thankful for everyone that stood that fight so far. It's been Keystone, it's been Megaloads, it's been the tar sand, it's been Standing Rock, it's been Line 3, Line 5. All of those pipelines that we just have. My relatives in Colombia just called and told me there's a giant aquifer that's bigger than the Opala aquifer. Goes from Colombia all the way down to Brazil to the ocean, and they passed a resolution in this tiny village where a woman had been killed while I was at Standing Rock. They passed a resolution outlawing fracking in that aquifer. Tiny village. So I get mad. I get really mad. As an individual interviewer, Joy and Daniel will testify that I yelled at those guys. I let them have it. Drill sergeant voice came out to me. I come here to refresh. I come here to charge, to be with the people. The Nimipu stand with you all. We love you. We keep you in our prayers. From the furthest lodge to the east to the west, we are all related. And I'm thankful and I'm honored to be standing here with you all, as we've done for generations, and we will continue to do for generations. Because they tried to exterminate us before, and they're doing it now, and we lived before, and we're going to live now. So thank you all. Himax, Asiaya.
Thank you. Appreciate those words. Next, we have Mickey.
Our whole relatives, I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for taking time to be here today, taking time out of your life. I'd like to say a special thank you to the leadership here today from the Nebraska tribe. Very commendable for you to be here to represent your people against the enemy that we face, this black snake that's coming to threaten the life of our people, our children, and our land. On behalf of the Ponca Nation of Oklahoma, I just want to say we voted for you. So, the Keystone XL pipeline. About 15 years ago, I was in Canada. Some of my relatives up there from the Native Youth Movement were fighting against this pipeline before it ever started in the tar sands regions there. They knew that genocide had already begun in their homeland. Like my Sundance brother Gary stated, that people were healthy and living good and harvesting the food and the medicines from their land, and the 4 leggeds provided for them. and they wanted to continue that way of life. And the tar sands moved in, and the tar sands resistance started. And here we are again. After the pipeline has been defeated once, our new administration here, President Trump, has signed and tried to bring this pipeline back. There are several facts about the pipeline that have been reported from this administration, saying that it's going to create thousands and thousands of jobs for the American people. That's a lie. There'll be a few thousand temporary jobs. When the pipeline's completed, 38 permanent jobs. That's the truth. That's a fact. That oil is not for our country. It's detrimental to our country. It's detrimental to the nations, indigenous nations that it crosses. It's detrimental to the future of our children and the future of our planet. I want to acknowledge my sister Joy Brown that's here. 1 year ago today, my sister called upon me to come and stand with her at Standing Rock. She was at the camp at Sacred Stone and had been there since April 1st. And I want to say thank you, sister, for all that you do for our people. We've been together on the front lines for over 6 months, fighting for the life of our children, our grandchildren, and our future generations. As I stated earlier, the youth called upon us, and as parents, as grandparents, as elders, it was our duty, our responsibility to stand up and to acknowledge the enemy that was at the gates, and that it was time to do something about it. And here we are again. The Dakota Access Pipeline awakened the world. The resistance to the Dakota Access Pipeline awakened the world, and it sparked fires. I always say the sacred fire that was lit there, the wind came, and I saw the whirlwind come through the middle, and the sparks were lifted and sent out to the 4 directions across this continent and around the world. And we have the same support for each other now in this struggle as we did at Standing Rock. The first time 350 indigenous nations came together to fight for a common cause and a common purpose. Now we're here today to sign this historic treaty declaration. As my brother stated, over 150 nations have already signed, and we're going to continue to unite the people, to unite the nations, and to bring together our allies to fight the Keystone XL pipeline. I also want to acknowledge the hard work and time that Jane Cleve has put in on behalf of Old Nebraska. They've done a lot of hard work here in the state of Nebraska. This is going to be the battleground where we draw the line here in Nebraska, my homeland, my ancestral homeland, where my people are from, where my people are buried. This is my home. Oklahoma is my POW camp. I belong to the Missouri River. That's why I was at Standing Rock, and that's why I'm here today. To protect the water, protect the land that I belong to, protect the water that's going to sustain life for my children, for my grandson. My grandson's here today. My daughters, my sons. This isn't just about standing up and making some noise. This is about standing up for life, for existence, for survival, got to Sacred Stone Camp, and I set my tent up next to my sister's, there was about 35 to 50, maybe 50 people in the camp that night. And within weeks, there were thousands. When we draw the line in the sand here in Nebraska, thousands are going to come. Tens of thousands are going to come. That's a promise. They're creating laws all around the country, anti-protester laws, try to threaten us with long jail sentences and heavy fines. I will not be deterred with the threat of jail or the threat of a fine. My children's lives depend on it, and I'm here to tell you that I will give my life for my children. And there's many, many warriors out there, whether they're men, women, elders, young people, that feel the same way. We have to look at this in a way, a larger, back up and see the picture from above. The network that they're building is a network of genocide. And it's not just the genocide of indigenous people, it's the genocide of humanity. It's the genocide of Mother Earth. We as indigenous people of this earth have a duty to teach our relatives how to live in balance, how to coincide and coexist with Mother Earth, the natural laws, the silent nations. All that lives depends on it. I just came from sundancing for 4 days. We fasted, no food, no water. It gives you an appreciation for the meaning water is life, the phrase water is life. Chief Mr. Crodall Jr. talked about it Sunday morning on the 4th day of the Sundance. The water that connects each and every one of us. I've talked about the common ground that we stand on, Mother Earth. But Chief Crodall put it in a good way. The water that each one of us is made of, that fills our bodies and nourishes our spirit, it's the same water that fills their bodies and nourishes their spirit. Those ones that are making these decisions, the ones that run these corporations. The same water that fills their children's bodies and nourishes their children's spirit. The same water that the four-leggeds drink, that they're made of, the winged ones that they're made of. We're all made of the same water, the same spirit, the same life, and each one of us comes from the sacred water of life. That's what we're here to protect. That's what we have to protect. Our people are depending on us. Mother Earth is depending on us. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for coming here today. I want to say thank you to my mother for the dedication in her life. Teaching me, guiding me, mentoring me, that I could teach my children, that I could stand here on behalf of my children and my grandchildren the way that she stood for me for all these years. I want to thank all of the indigenous leaders who have signed this historic declaration against the Keystone XL pipeline. All of the organizations that have come together to fight for the life of our people. I want to thank the Creator for this beautiful way of life and the teachings teachings and instructions that He's passed through our generations, and that we can continue to pass these beautiful ceremonies and this beautiful way of life and this sacred water to the future generations. Last and mostly, I want to thank our children. I want to thank our youth, those that are fighting and standing up and voicing that they want to live today, and it's up to us to ensure that for them. I hope. Next, Flory. Flory's, I'm sorry. Flory's.
Hamadakiati, Chande Washtea Napechi Zabiksto. Chande Izawin, Amajapi, Flory's Whitewell, Amajapi, Mark Whitewell. Mark Whitewell, Ade Waiki, Trisha Ann Loretto, Ina Waiki. Cecil Whitewell, Hukashala, Adeboy, Hukashala, Waiki. Unji Gloria, walking out, Waiki. Her name is Clarice Whitewell, brave heart woman, strong heart woman. Papa Kota na Cochi Pueblo, Uya Macha, Mahon Papa and Cochi Pueblo, descendant. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the youth for their leadership and acknowledge them. We as Indigenous peoples have gone through a lot in the past few hundred years, and our youth struggle with understanding their place in this world and trying to understand how to walk in two worlds. And they suffer from high suicide rates in our communities. So what happened at Standing Rock when our youth gathered their voices to ask to be heard, to ask for their rights to be heard for our future? They asked to live. Our children, the ones that suffered, asked to live, and that was profound. So we as mothers, as fathers, as uncles, as grandparents, stood behind them to honor them, to honor their wishes, to honor our future generations, just as our ancestors stood for us and did their best to honor us so that we could live, that we could be here today, that we could carry on. Just a simple life is all we ask for. We don't ask for great things. We don't want gold. We don't want fancy cars. We don't want big houses. We're fine in our humble lives. We don't ask for much. I'm a descendant of Sitting Bull. Sitting Bull's sister is my grandfather's mother. They were there at the signing of the treaties when they asked to build a road through our lands no wider than a wagon tracks, until they discovered the gold, and our people suffered immensely for something that we didn't value, that laid on the ground because our people valued Kimsila more because you could feed your people with that. It laid on the ground, and our people were killed for that.